Look, here's the part nobody's warning you about. In 2026, millions of American homeowners are about to get slammed with property tax bills so high, they'll make today's numbers look like a discount. I'm not talking about tiny bumps or the usual yearly increase. This is the kind of jump that can wreck a family budget overnight. And the craziest part? Most of it doesn't come from new tax rates. Nope. It's creeping in through reassessments, levy hikes, and special exceptions that counties slip under the radar. Politicians call it adjustment. Homeowners call it robbery. Think about it. You buy a house, you lock in your mortgage, you plan for stability, and then suddenly the county says your place is worth way more than last year. Congratulations, your tax bill just exploded, even if you never added a single brick. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly which 10 states are about to push homeowners past the breaking point in 2026. From the East Coast strongholds with bills already topping 10 grand, to the Midwest counties where reassessments are quietly doubling values, to the Western states hiding behind rules like Proposition 13, this is the countdown that's going to show you where the next property tax bombshells are landing. So buckle in, because what's coming isn't just numbers on a page. It's the reason some families will pack up, sell out, and move across state lines. And once you see how it works, you'll never look at your own tax bill the same way again. Number 1, New Jersey and New York. New Jersey has carried the title of highest property taxes in the entire country for years. The average bill already blew past $10,000, and 2026 is shaping up to make things even worse. Families across the state describe it as a treadmill. You run harder every year, but you never actually get ahead. One Bergen County family reported their bill rising nearly $2,000 in just 3 years without making a single change to their home. No new deck, no remodel, nothing. Just a new assessment that claimed their home was suddenly worth far more. Another homeowner in Essex County said that after their taxes jumped again last year, they were forced to take on a second job just to keep up. It feels like I'm renting my own house from the government. Across the Hudson in New York, the city's 2026 assessment roll shows market values up 5.7% and taxable values up 3.9%. For homeowners, that means hundreds or even thousands more dollars owed, even if the tax rate doesn't change. And it's not just Manhattan. Suburbs in Long Island and Westchester are quietly seeing levies rise as schools, pensions, and infrastructure chew up bigger budgets. Retirees who thought they'd live out their golden years in quiet neighborhoods are now considering moves to Florida or the Carolinas just to stay afloat. Teachers and firefighters in Queens are openly questioning whether owning in New York still makes sense. Number 2, Illinois. Illinois has one of the most relentless property tax systems in the country, and nowhere is that more obvious than in Cook County. In 2024, South suburban homeowners were hit with increases near 20% in a single year. That's not a gentle rise, that's a gut punch. Families who thought they had budgeted carefully suddenly found themselves owing an extra $1,500 to $2,500, often on average homes, not luxury properties. Cook County's reassessment cycle is the main culprit. If your neighborhood lands in the wrong year, the county might decide your home value shot up by tens of thousands, whether you upgraded it or not. The result is a tax bill that can feel completely disconnected from your reality. One Chicago bungalow owner summed it up. "I paid off my mortgage, but now my property taxes are higher than my old monthly payment. I feel like I'll never actually own my house." And it's not just homeowners feeling the squeeze. Small businesses are seeing their property taxes rise too, forcing some to raise prices and others to close entirely. That's the hidden cost. Property tax hikes don't just drain households, they reshape entire neighborhoods. Chicago's financial struggles aren't going away, with pensions and schools demanding more funding. So while officials may promise restraint in 2026, residents know by now that restraint usually means, yes, it's going up, but we hope you don't notice how much. Number 3, Connecticut. In Connecticut, the pain comes through something called the mill rate, a simple number that decides how much of your home's value gets taxed. Take the town of Winston. A recent increase means a $250,000 home now owes about $483 more each year. Hammond has gone so far as to phase in revaluations, because the full hikes were so steep they risked sparking outrage. And by 2026, those phase-ins hit hardest. That's the trap in Connecticut. It's not one massive jump. It's steady pressure, year after year, until homeowners suddenly realize their affordable home isn't so affordable anymore. A retired couple in Hartford County explained it this way. When we bought our house in the 90s, property taxes were manageable. Now, on a fixed income, every increase cuts into our groceries, our medicine, our savings. It never stops. Millennials who stretched to buy during the pandemic boom are getting hit too. For them, 2026 could be the year they realize owning in Connecticut means being permanently strapped to tax bills that climb faster than their salaries. Number 4, New Hampshire. New Hampshire technically has limits on how much property taxes can increase each year. Sounds safe, right? The problem is, those caps can be overridden with a simple majority vote, and towns don't hesitate to use that power when budgets fall short. Recent reassessments have already triggered double-digit hikes in several communities. Some families saw bills shoot up by 15 to 20% in 1 year, even though their homes hadn't changed a bit. And with new revaluations scheduled for 2026, another wave of sticker shock is on its way. One longtime resident said it feels like gambling. Every few years, they spin the wheel on a revaluation, and you just pray it doesn't land on you. When it does, you're stuck paying thousands more, and you don't get anything extra for it. Even small towns that once prided themselves on affordability are being caught in the squeeze. Teachers, firefighters, and nurses, the very people who keep communities alive, are being priced out of the towns they serve. Number 5, Texas. Texas politicians love to hold press conferences about lowering tax rates. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The bills keep rising anyway. That's because property taxes are a combination of the rate and your home's assessed value. Rates may inch down, but when counties decide your house is worth tens of thousands more than last year, the final number on your bill still climbs. In Travis County, homeowners are already bracing for bills to jump by over 9% in 2026. Even in smaller cities like Plainview, officials celebrated a rate cut, but homeowners quickly realized their bills went up because valuations quietly rose. One Austin homeowner explained the frustration perfectly. "My bill went up $1,200. That's not just numbers on a spreadsheet. That's my groceries, my car payment, my insurance. Politicians can brag all they want about rate cuts, but my wallet tells a different story." And Texas has another trick: disaster year exceptions. These loopholes allow counties to squeeze even more revenue in special circumstances, and 2026 is shaping up to be a year when those get used. For Texans, relief is starting to sound less like policy and more like a sales pitch. Number 6, Colorado. For decades, Colorado had the Gallagher Amendment, a safeguard that kept property taxes balanced. That protection is gone now, and the difference is starting to hit hard. Without Gallagher, local governments have more freedom to pull revenue directly from homeowners. Combine that with reassessments based on the state's hot housing market, and the result is simple: bills are going up fast. Projections warn that the average homeowner could owe hundreds more dollars in 2026, even if their property hasn't changed at all. Imagine paying extra for the same house, same roof, same neighborhood, just because paper values jumped. One homeowner outside Denver said, "Last year my taxes jumped $600. Now they say 2026 will be worse. I feel like I'm renting my own house back from the county." And this isn't just a one-time spike. Every new reassessment feeds fresh increases into the system, meaning the pressure builds year after year. By 2026, families may be forced to ask themselves if living near the Rockies is worth the constant financial hit, or if it's time to leave Colorado behind. Number 7, Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, rising property taxes aren't just about assessments. They're about school levies. Year after year, districts ask for a little more, and by 2026, those little mores add up to one of the steepest burdens in the Midwest. State fiscal reports show hundreds of millions in new levies rolling in through 2026. For homeowners, that means every budget cycle feels like a slow squeeze that never eases. One Madison resident put it bluntly: "Every election, they tell us it's just a small increase for the kids. 20 years later, my tax bill is bigger than my old mortgage. When does it stop?" And it's not only in the big cities. Rural homeowners are being hit too. A farmer outside Green Bay said his property taxes now rival the cost of maintaining his entire equipment fleet. Unlike housing markets that sometimes cool down, school levies almost never shrink. Once a district raises its budget, it rarely lowers it. That makes Wisconsin's tax pressure feel permanent, like a staircase that only goes up. Number 8, Indiana. Indiana homeowners got a rude surprise when assessed property values jumped by more than 12% in a single year. That surge is still working its way through the system, and by 2026, the impact will be impossible to ignore. For many, it feels like punishment for market conditions beyond their control. A family in Indianapolis explained, "We've lived here 15 years, same house, same layout, nothing new. But suddenly it's worth $40,000 more? All that means is a bigger bill." Even with Indiana's tax caps, those protections don't fully shield families when assessments rise this fast. Counties still collect more, and homeowners still pay the price. Teachers, police officers, and factory workers, the backbone of Indiana's middle class, are seeing their tax bills rise faster than their wages. The frustration is clear. People aren't against paying taxes, but they want predictability. In Indiana, 2026 looks like another year where predictability gets thrown out the window. Number 9, Nebraska. Nebraska lawmakers have been promising property tax relief for years. Yet for most residents, those promises never seem to land in their bank accounts. Farmers, ranchers, and suburban families alike have watched valuations soar, driving bills higher and higher. Even the state itself has admitted that dramatic increases are still hitting taxpayers, despite all the political speeches about change. One homeowner outside Lincoln put it plainly, "I've been hearing about property tax reform every election year for a decade. My bill has only gone up. Where's the relief?" For farmers, it's especially painful. Rising property taxes hit their land hard, even in years when crop prices fall. It means paying more when they can least afford it. By 2026, without real reform, Nebraska homeowners and landowners alike are bracing for another round of unwelcome surprises. Number 10, California. California's Proposition 13 was designed to protect homeowners, capping yearly assessment growth at about 2%. On paper, that looks like stability. In reality, property taxes in California are still on a relentless climb. For long-time owners, it's a slow creep that compounds into thousands more over the years. For new buyers, it's a shock right out of the gate, because the moment a property changes hands, it's reassessed at full market value. That's why a young family buying their first home in Los Angeles can end up paying double or triple what their neighbor pays for an identical house. One San Jose homeowner explained, "They say we're lucky because of Proposition 13, but my bill is still thousands higher than it was 10 years ago. If this is protection, it sure doesn't feel like it." And on top of that steady 2% climb, Californians face layers of local bonds, parcel taxes, and special assessments. These are tacked on by school districts, cities, and counties, each one adding a few $100s here and there until the bill is staggering. By 2026, the combination of capped increases plus endless add-ons will push many Californians to a breaking point. Sunshine and beaches don't pay the bills, and some families are deciding the lifestyle isn't worth the constant drain anymore. So there it is, 10 states where property taxes are set to explode in 2026. Different regions, different systems, but the pattern is the same. Rising assessments, rising levies, and families being squeezed harder every year. For some, these hikes are the final straw, the reason they sell, move, or give up on owning altogether. And the bigger question is, how bad will it get where you live? Drop a comment below and share what's happening in your county. Did your bill jump even when the rate went down? Are you already paying more than your mortgage and property taxes? Let's get the conversation going. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I'll keep exposing the hidden costs, the loopholes, and the trends before they hit your wallet, because what's coming in 2027 could be even worse, and you don't want to miss it. Stay sharp, stay subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.